think study abroad is integral to higher education because the world is not the world it once was, where people could go to college in a particular place, a particular state, a particular country, and emerge from it feeling as though they were ready to take on the world when oftentimes they didn't know a lot about the world. And so I think that study abroad, I wish it were a part of every student's education because the world now is so interconnected that I think it's a good idea for students to start practicing being in that interconnection as early as possible and in ways that are meaningful to them and in places that will provide them as many opportunities as possible to expand their horizons. Every student who studies abroad says the same thing, right? The mantra is, it changed my life. And it does, it changes your life. I was a study abroad student with Syracuse University back in 1975. I went to the University of Amsterdam. We were in a special program. It was a social work focus. And we got to go out in the city, visit different agencies every week. And I got to see a whole different way of operating a society. And that was at a time when people were very nervous about words like socialism. And here I was in a society that was heavily socialist in its orientation, and we were seeing the services that they provided, the strengths and weaknesses of that system. I saw study abroad as an opportunity away from my own campus to actually be a little bit freer and to feel that I could experiment. And the experimentation I took was 2 courses, microeconomics and art history. And I thought, this is going to be a piece of cake. And I thought, art history, gosh, kind of scary, memorizing all those slides. And in fact, I was getting a C in micro because he actually talked about guns and butter all the time. And art history was in the Rijksmuseum. We met every Saturday in the museums, in the Van Gogh Museum. And it was the most extraordinarily wonderful learning experience I'd had. To not be looking at books, not be looking at slides, but to be looking at the art objects themselves. So it profoundly changed my life. I feel that it enriched my horizons and really made me want to just take everybody I knew and say, come along with me and do this. And that's why I think having this position now is just so wonderful, because I get to say to everybody, come along with us and do this. The thing that excites me the most about my current position as UCEAP Executive Director is, first of all, that I get to work with so many people, scores of people, who are all passionately interested in study abroad. The second thing is that I will get to work with students, not as many as I'd like, to be honest with you. I think I'll miss the student contact, but I'll get to work with students who themselves are passionate about study abroad. And I think the third thing is that I'll get to advocate for the University of California and for our students and for the general notion of education abroad in a world where people might be tempted to sort of retrench. It's a scary world, so maybe we don't want to go out there, but I think it's so important, and I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to make that case for people, that it is still and perhaps ever more important. My goals for UCEAP, wow. I think what I would like at the end of my time as executive director is to be able to look back and say, we increased opportunities for students in underrepresented populations, whether that be first-generation students, honors students, whether it is students with financial need. There are LGBTQ students. I mean, there are a variety of students who are underrepresented in study abroad. Maybe they don't feel this is for them. And I want, by the end of my time here, to have every UC student say, education abroad is an option for me. Whether or not they exercise it, that's their choice. And in what form they exercise it is their choice. But I want them to be able to say, I could do this if I want. The other goal that I have for UCEAP is to maintain a strong financial base for it, to increase that base so that we can provide more financial assistance for students who go abroad. And I really look forward to having good campus relations and to strengthen our relationships with partner institutions. I really feel that, that saying no man is an island, well, no person is ever an island. And I think that I want to build the various, take the various islands that we have and either build bridges among them or kind of get us to see ourselves as an archipelago, that we really belong together. So those are my goals for my time as executive director. Go. Do it. Come and talk to us. Talk to your campus advisors. Find out what the options may be. You don't have to think about a year. You don't have to think about a semester. You could think about a summer. You could think about a short-term program. But the world is out there. Go. That's what I would say. Just go.